Hello everyone, Daniel Kerr here. So, Tuesday morning, March 18th, concerning the fruit of the Spirit. So, Sunday school teachers the world over, especially 20, 30 years ago, but they'd say, oh, there are 9 fruits of the Spirit, and can you name the 9 fruits of the Spirit? I think most Christians are familiar with Galatians 5:22, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. And against such there is no law. If you look at the New King James, that it says that it is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And again, against such there is no law. Well, I contend that these are not 9 fruits of the Spirit, and these are not the only 9 attributes of the one fruit of the Spirit, that there is only one fruit of the Spirit, that these are 9 of the attributes, but there is also forgiveness, there is also thankfulness. These are also fruits of the Spirit, right? Or these are all traits of the fruit of the Spirit. We could say that honor is a fruit of the Spirit, or there are many, many other attributes that all belong to the one fruit. In fact, in James chapter 3, it says that a fig tree cannot bear olives or a vine figs, right? So there can only be one fruit of the Spirit. Ephesians 4:4, it says that there's one body, one Spirit, just as you were called in one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. In the same familiar chapter, Galatians chapter 5, before that it says, in verse 19, it says, now the works of the flesh are evident, which are adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lewdness, idolatry, sorcery, hatred, contentions, jealousies, outbursts of wrath, selfish ambitions, dissensions, heresies, envy, murder, drunkenness, revelries. Seems like there's a lot more attributes of the fruit of the enemy. It says, I told you beforehand, just as I told you in time, I tell you beforehand, just as I told you in times past, that those who practice such things will not inherit the kingdom of God. The Greek word here is praso, and it does mean practice. In fact, it means to do repeatedly. And it's actually connected to the idea of collecting fees. So it means to be executed over and over and over again, which we all know. It's the root word of what we know as practice. If you practice something, you become super, super good at it. And I guess that's the point that I'm even trying to make in this video. And I'm just to wrap things up. Everything that you think of as a fruit of the Spirit is something that should be practiced. And there are lots of these things, peace for one, that we would see as being some sort of a spontaneous emotional eruption, right? Oh, I felt such peace about that. I can't get peace, right? But you can practice peace. All of the aspects of the fruit of the Spirit can be practiced. Yeshua said to love your enemies, right? And so that means that you are to intentionally love your enemies. If any of you has anything against another, forgive. It says in James, count it all joy when you fall into various and diverse trials and temptations, because it produces these other things. It's interesting how hardship and the practice of the fruit of the Spirit causes other aspects of the fruit of the Spirit to emerge. In fact, it's interesting because the Bible is very, very clear that only through trials are we perfected. And God is perfect, and He created us. It was almost like He created us. It's almost like He created us so that He could practice these fruit of the Spirit. We are the trials that perfected the art of God. I'm just going to read actually Strong's entry G4238. Praso, a primary verb to practice that is performed repeatedly or habitually, thus differing from paeo, which is to do once, by implication to execute, accomplish, etc., specifically to collect dues or fares. God's not in the business of asking people to do things that they are unable to do, and all of the aspects of the fruit of the Spirit that we know are things that we need to intentionally practice. In Galatians 5:19, 20, and 21, I listed all of those aspects of the works of the enemy. It says, those who practice such things will not inherit the kingdom of God. And then he goes, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, gentleness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. It says, against such there is no law, but by implication it says that it basically is saying that those who do practice these things will inherit the kingdom of God. We all know that salvation is a free gift and it's not of works. But the kingdom of God, especially the kingdom of God here on earth, and the ability to imitate God as dear children and to enact the will of God, to pray for the will of God on earth as it is in heaven, to change the lives of your community, your friends, and your family, that's the kingdom of God. And in order for that to be something that you inherit and take hold of after the free gift of salvation, means that you have to practice these fruit of the Spirit, this fruit of the Spirit. Love you guys. Have a great day. Be blessed.